In earlier videos, you learned how to find missing sides in right triangles using the trig ratios of sine, cosine, and tangent. For instance, in this right triangle, you would get tan 37 degrees equals x over 30, and then you'd solve for x. Well, you may have been thinking to yourself, well, what if it's not a right triangle? Well, what do we do then? Well, that's what this video is all about. Let's get it on! When we're dealing with triangles that aren't right triangles, there's actually something we can use called the law of sines. This is how it works. First of all, if you have this triangle over here, generally in math, we call the angles A, B, and C with all caps. So we have angle A, angle B, angle C, and then the sides across from them would be lowercase. So across from angle B would be lowercase b, that's that side, and so forth. And it turns out with the law of sines, that there are some common ratios, that if you take the length of side A and divide by sine of angle A, it will equal the length of side B divided by sine of angle B, etc., etc. And that's what we're going to be using here to actually solve. So I have this triangle over here, and you'll notice we have 52 degrees and 71 degrees. The sides across from each respectively are, across from 52 is 24, and across from 71 is x. So then what we can do is we can simply go ahead and write out two common ratios. So we can say 24 over sine of 52 degrees will equal x over sine 71 degrees. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and we can cross multiply. So that means that x times sine 52 degrees will equal 24 times sine 71 degrees. And then finally, to figure out the answer, we're going to divide both sides up by sine 52 degrees. So we will get x is going to equal 24 times sine 71 degrees, and then divided by sine of 52. So that is what we call the exact answer. Grab your calculator right now and see if you can go ahead and calculate this correctly. If you do it correctly and round off to two places, you should get 28.80. And we can go ahead and write units on here. Just in case when you were working with your calculator that you didn't get 28.80, let me show you what it looks like on my calculator. So 24 times sine 71, and what you need to add in is you need to close the parentheses after the 71. The calculator will not automatically do that, and then press divide sine 52. There's no need to close the parentheses here because it's the last thing we're doing, and that's how we got 28.80. If you like what you've seen and heard so far, please like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you, and back to part 2. We can also use the law of sines to solve for a missing angle. So I've gone ahead and set up the proportions here that'll work for us here. So 53 over sine 46 equals 44 of sine B. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to cross multiply. So doing that, I get 53 times sine of B, and then it should equal 44 times sine of 46 degrees. From there, we'll just go ahead and we'll divide both sides by 53. So now we get sine of B equals 44 times sine 46 degrees all over 53. All right, so go ahead and grab your calculator, and for now, what I want you to do is write out the first 5 digits you see when you do this calculation. So do 44 times sine 46 degrees, and then divide by 53. So when I did this, I'm going to go ahead and write it up over here. I got sine of B, and that's going to equal 0.59718. And I'll show you in a minute why it's important to go ahead and go out to 5 places here. Then you're going to do inverse sine. That's how you undo sine, right? Is inverse sine. So B ends up being sine negative 1 of that decimal, 5.59718. And if done correctly, you should get about 36.67 degrees. So let me show you why it's important to go ahead and when you do sine B, to go ahead and write out the 5 places here. If I take inverse sine of the actual answer, the entire thing you see on your calculator, you get 36.668, etc., etc. If I go out 5 places, I get virtually the same number out to 3 places. However, if I had rounded off the 0.59718 to 2 places and got 0.60, my answer would be significantly different here. So it's really important when you do this, if you're not going to do inverse sine of the entire answer, to at least go out 5 places. Well, that's it. Hope you got a lot out of this video. See you soon.